it's me, Renee. I'm back. So, yeah, as you may or may not know, this last weekend I went away. It was like on a whim, really, so hence why I didn't have any videos on Monday or Friday. Usually, like before, when I'm gonna be busy, I'll do pre-recordings and just like have them come up on that day. But yes, I said, the trip was very last minute, and so I didn't really have time to like post any pre-filmings. Sorry. I do have one video that I already like have filmed that I can like post if I need a video. But other than that, I don't really have any videos that I haven't used. So yeah, you were a few days around without me. I hope you weren't too sad. Probably weren't because I don't have that many subscribers. Not that I care that much. Honestly, at the moment, I'm really pleased with how it is, really, because I feel like lately I've been getting a lot more comments on the videos. I've been getting a lot more views, so it feels much more like I'm part of the community in a way. Oh, I didn't before. Well, yeah, I'm supposed like in January, in February, in March, often I could like post videos and no one would watch them, or like some of the videos I posted uh, in like last October didn't get any views before now. So yeah, it's not like all the videos find any views like that or at all, and that's that really. And yeah, honestly, I don't really care that much. But yeah, I do find it's nice that people now watch me. Seems to be, anyway, at least in a way. And yeah, so yeah, as I said, I went away. So this is gonna be a little story time, a little library haul. Because yeah, this weekend I was went away. I went to my sister's. Well, I suppose I went to, yeah, my sisters. I have three sisters. I'm the youngest, and all of the others have kids now. They all got kids last year, and yeah. So last weekend, like the weekend I just was, to be precise. First, I visited my sister that lives. She lives just like kind of 3 hours away from me. So the one I live shortest a distance away. She has twins, and it was so fun to see them again. Though, yeah, since I've lived so close, I see them kind of regularly. But yeah, it was still nice to see them. They're so full of smiles and happiness, and they're so cute. And yeah, I really like that. I like it. Yeah, just FYI, all the nieces and nephews are under 2, so they're not big, but I mean, that's still a nice age. So yeah. Um. So yeah. So I was I was with them for like a day, and then the next day I went to my other sister. Well, my other sisters. I stayed with one of my sisters, and then I visited another sister. So yeah, I saw all my sisters. Through like all the weekend, so I get to meet them all. Uh, and yeah, so well, I suppose I had most contact with my nephew and my sister because that's where I lived. And yeah, he's very nice. He's actually the oldest ones of all the kids. He was born 1st of May, so he's like 17 months now, 18 months, something like that. And yeah, so he runs around and he's always screaming, "Hey!" and he's just very, very active. He's lovely, but sometimes it can be like, really, do you need to run all the time, yell all the time? Because a lot of the time when he's awake, it's yelling time for him. So yeah, but still, it's very nice to meet him and spend time with him. So yeah, I spent time within with him this weekend. I also saw the youngest, and she's actually not yet 1. She turns 1 in October, so she can't yet walk, but she can move around a bit, like with just crabbing, or just moving on her hands, on her hands. And yeah, so that's lovely seeing her as well. But yeah, so for most of the weekend um I was either taking care of my like babysitting my nephew, while I was with my nephew and my niece and just like playing around with them, or I was being social and doing doing card games and stuff with my family. So yeah, spent a lot of time with my family. Well, it was a family trip, so kind of obvious in a way. So yeah, most of the weekend went away to that really. Yeah, I know I've been telling you, and it's the truth. I went away for a weekend. I went away on last Tuesday, got back yesterday, so I went away for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days actually. Like 5 whole days. Like I suppose yesterday was more or less just on the road, but still like I wasn't home then. So I went away for 5 days. Guess how many books I brought? 2? No. 3? No. 6! Oh yeah! I bought 6 books away with me. And then guess how many I actually read or, finished? Yeah, 1. Well, I mean, most of the time, really, even though if I spend time with family, if I spend time with people, I still like will read a lot because like I need my me time, I need my reading time. But I suppose this weekend was different because the nieces and nephews are so small, you kind of have to have an eye on them at all times because they might run to the pads and hurt themselves. Or they might run to electricity place to hurt themselves, and like there's so many dangers. Well, there's so many dangers for the small kids that you kind of have to look at them, watch over them all the time. So yeah, there's that. And then also this last weekend, just a little warning, this is gonna get intimate. But last weekend I had my period, and yeah, when I get my period, well, I suppose it's just sometimes when I get my period, it's just like huge pain, so painful. Though of course, for me, it's not that pain. Like a paracetamol helps, or I get very sad and very moody and just all over the place. This last weekend, both happened. So on Tuesday, I got my period. On Friday, I was just feeling so sad and paracetamol. I was feeling sad and suicidal and just so depressing and just was not in a good place really. As well as having like bad pains and just being awful in general. Like like the max. And then on Saturday, I was kind of feeling like mad and just like irritated. Like if people said something, I was just like, no. Well, I wasn't saying like no, but like in the head, like stop being idiots. I was Michelle from Gilmore Girls in the part where he's saying like, everyone's idiot today. I can't stand them. I suppose that's kind of paraphrasing, but yeah, you know the line. Yeah, I think I'm surrounded by idiots. It's something like that. I'll see if I can find a clip of it and link it down below because it's just great. Brilliant. Michelle, it's just so so good sometimes. It's so relatable. But yeah, so yeah, that happened. So yeah, I didn't really read that much this weekend, but I still had a nice weekend. And as I said, I still went to a library on Monday. Actually, I went to a library, and yeah, I suppose I haven't really said that this yet, but I'll say it now. The place I went was Oslo, Norway's capital, and they actually just got a new library. Well, a new library. Like they moved the library that they had and moved it to another building. So in a way, they got a new library. So like the biggest branch got a new building, and so it was a big to do. Has been building for many years. It was supposed to open in March. Yeah, in March, COVID came to Norway for real, like full on. So of course, in March, everything shut down in Norway, most of the stuff. So yeah, it couldn't open in March. It ended up opening in July, though it was like kind of like smaller opening that I kind of originally wanted. But yeah, so yeah, but now it's open, and yeah, I went there. It's just an amazing library. I just loved it so much. It has 6 floors. It has on the second floor there's kids literature, and on every floor there's both sofas and chairs to read in. There's also every floor has computers so you can do stuff online on the library, which every modern library needs really. And I think more or less at least most of the floors has like study rooms that you can go and study. You can like you can be a student and like study for school there, or you could like have a room and then use it as a group project place and etc. etc. They actually also have a cinema room. They have lecture halls. They have both a bar and a cafe. And yes, and it's 6 floors, 6 floors. So it's just so big and so amazing. I just loved it so much. I'm so envious of people who live in Oslo because they can use it every day. And well, I suppose the bookstores, the libraries that are close to me aren't bad either. So yeah, and yeah, I suppose that's kind of like the talk story time of this video. Now I want to show you library books. So yeah, I first I just found like, of course, like I knew that kind of was supposed to probably would find some books to read because it's a library, you always find some books. And first I just found these three and thought like, well, it's 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 some books that I want to read. It's good. Now I'm just gonna look more. Of course, of course I had to check out the YA section and the fantasy section. What happened? Yeah, I end up getting like this big pile of books. So yeah, don't worry though. Like I have this library card that you can use all over the country, so I didn't steal them. It was all correct and done well and done in order. So yeah, first yeah, I'm gonna show you these ones first because some place you have to start. So I have Prince on a Brink, Party Princess, and Princess Mia. It's the seventh, eighth, and ninth book in the Princess Diary series. I started rereading this last year, but never found like the last 4 books. So I thought like, yeah, now I can finish rereading it. Though I was kind of like, should I get it or not? I ended up doing it because it's library books and they're so short. But yeah, actually, one thing that I kind of noticed when I started rereading the series last year, I feel like this series, feel like it's very good if you're in the target age. It's very good. But like as a rereading, at least for me, or at least rereading at like the 7th and 8th, I kind of feel like at least like the first 2-3 books is kind of like this is kind of juvenile. This is kind of juvenile. I suppose in a way, the first 3 books kind of made me understand why the movies are the way they are, because the movies are kind of like childish and like very for children, while the books, at least the later books, are like more YA. Though yeah, the first book should just talk about French kissing, and Puritans American, they didn't like that. So like when they had kids, Meg Cabot talked about how when she went to book signings and people uh, were like got the books after watching a movie, and they're like, there's French kissing in this book. That's wrong. You can't do that for 9-year-olds. Like 9-year-olds can French kiss. It's not, well, they can know about it anyway, but apparently not in the US. So yeah, that's kind of like a big no-no over there. But yeah, I started actually. I saw the movies first when I was a kid. Oh, movies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw both of them. I don't really remember loving them or hating them. I just remember watching them. Like it being a thing. It was a big thing. So yeah, you all know about the movies. Though I didn't really read the books until I was like 12, 13. A friend of mine read them and said like they're really good. I picked them up and yeah, I enjoy them then. But as I said, rereading them now. But yeah, I did start a reread, so I kind of want to finish the reread. So yeah, so this is book 6, 7, and 8. Sorry, 7, 8, and 9. So that was I'm still missing book 10. I did have book 10, but for like, I'll just take these 3, and then I'll read book 10, like, or get book 10 later when I'm finished with these 3. So yeah, I have these 3. Just a little story time because I got so many books. I ended up buying this book bag from the library. So yeah, now actually modern well, libraries in Norway often they might have like book bags that they make specific to the library. So this is called, you see here, Deichman, which is the name of the library. Yeah, it's kind of weird because usually libraries are called like Oslo Library, Bergen Library, NYC Library. Well, Deichman, it opened in the 1800s, and it opened because a rich man in Norway, I was about to say US, in Norway, I can't remember his first name. I think it was Carl. I'm not quite sure. I'll link in doobly. He donated all his books to the municipality, and that way they started the first public library with his books. And yeah, they decided to name it the library after him, which was Deichman. His last name was Deichman. So yeah, I got this tote bag. They're like, you can, well, not tote bag, book bag, but you can never have enough book bags. And yeah, I just love this library, so I thought, why not buy a book bag? So I did. So let me show you all the books from this bag. I'll start with Again But Better by Christine Riccio. So first, I suppose as a lot of people, that one of my first like meetings with BookTube was actually Christine. Yeah, I think it was actually very first. Yeah, I saw her talk on Heavenly Fire, or like her fear talk, and I really enjoyed it. And then kind of like got deeper and deeper into BookTube. I haven't really watched her lately because kind of watching other people and stuff. But yeah, first I heard good things about this one. Lately I've been hearing bad things about this one. But yeah, I'm still curious, so I got it from the library. I mean, if you're unsure about a book, why not get it from the library? Because you don't use any money, and you give it back. So, perfect solution. And you still get to read it and see for yourself. So yeah, this one I'm excited to get to. And then we have Tash Hart Tolstoy, by a novel by Catherine Ormsby. This is a YA contemporary. It came out in 2000 and which year did it come out in? Which year? 2017 actually. So yeah, now 3 years ago. Yeah, and the protagonist in this one is actually asexual. So yeah, that's not, you don't really have that many books with asexual characters. At least not YA. Not so far. It's becoming more and more normal, but so far it's not that many of them. So yeah, curious to read this one. So yeah, don't really know that much about it, just kind of know that it's asexual and why. So I'm curious and I want to read it. And then we have The Bad Girls Club by Rian Tracy. It's actually, I thought like first like, oh, it looks so cool and fun. And I was kind of curious like, when did it come out? Because I'm such a nerd, I kind of have to know like who's the publisher, who's the author, who's the dedication due, who's the is it the first edition, etc. etc. So always like more or less always would look at the first page to that to like get all the details. And yeah, this one actually came out in 2005. So it's quite old. Well, old. It's not the newest one anyway. How did you find an old book, 2005? Is that old? Is that not newest? It's kind of sad because I mean, you say old or new, you don't really have a way for like saying something in the middle. You don't really talk about middle-aged books, do you? Don't think you do. Anyway, yeah. So this book, it's because from the back it kind of sounds like a new book. Well, it's not. But yeah, back says 4 girls, Mary B, Mina, and Atlanta, picked for very different reasons by a teacher, from a book review club, where the discussion and reviews will be heard live on radio, shared and presented by the incredibly cool Jess. As the girls talk more and more animatedly about the different books, they find that they are learning from each other as well as about each other, and so they become friends. Until one day Mary does the unforgivable, and having flirted outrageously with B's new boyfriend, makes an all-out play for him. The tender new friendships of the foursome is fractured as a result of Mary's actions. A compulsive read, brilliantly charting the insecurities and challenges of new friendships. And yeah, the book, it's YA, it's friendship, it sounds up my alley. So yeah, it's kind of fun to like read this because 2025, so you will have no Facebook, no Twitter, none of the new stuff. No, probably still gonna be good because it's not like new. Only good books are new books, so yeah. So this one sounds intriguing, and yeah, not that long. Then we have A Love Hypothesis by Laura Steven. Laura, Ste- Laura Steven? Steven is actually the author behind Stop Blanking Up stuff. What is her name? The exact opposite of Okay, and A Girl Called Shameless. And yeah, so this is also YA contemporary, and it's blurb or it says a hilarious LGBTQ plus love story with a twist from the award-winning Laura Steven. Physics, physics genius Carol Kerber Murphy knows she's smart. With straight A's and a college scholarship already in the bag, she's meeting her two dads' colossal expectations and then some. But there's one test she never quite been able to ace: love. And when, in a particularly desperate moment, Carol discovers a scientific breakthrough that promises to make you irresistible to everyone around you, she wonders if it could be the key. So, it's science, it's love, sounds so fun. I feel like stuff is just so strange, like, because books do stuff like goes something like, yes, this book is STEM, it's a girl, it's love, blah blah, and like I seem so excited, but why I would talk about stuff I'm not excited about. But it's quite ironic because in my day-to-day life, like my worst subject in school was science. I hated it. I never understood it. I didn't really like it at all. I just hated it so much. But like when there's a book with science in it, I suppose I like it. I suppose like when authors write with science, like if a character loves physics or maths or biology, it's always like made more understandable. You rarely have like deep, intense science in like a YA or like a book. Well, I suppose non-fiction you might have, but like in fiction books, you often don't really do that because they would alienate readers. So yeah. So this is by an author I really enjoy, and yeah, can't wait to read it. And then we have The Kingdom of the Golden Dragon by Isabel Allende. So it's a YA by her. Yeah, most of her books are adults, but she's written a few YA as well. This one came out in 2004, so it's also quite old one. It's set in the Himalayas, so that's quite fun. And I don't really know that much about it, just that it's Isabel Allende. And yeah, I kind of want to read her YA story and see how it is. It's kind of funny because so far I read two books by her. I read her Invented Country, which is her biography, like about her life and about Chile and about her life now and stuff. I really enjoyed that one. I also read Maya. Didn't like it that much, really. So this one's kind of interesting. Though, yeah, I'm curious about it. I want to read it. I want to check it out. Why else would I get it? So yeah, here it is. Kingdom of the Golden Dragon. Yeah, it's just cool. And then we have Things the Eye Can't See by Penny Jolson. It's a YA contemporary with a protagonist that's blind, and she has to like solve a mystery. But like because she's blind, there's lots of obstacles, and yeah, that sounds so cool. And I thought this one was older. Yeah, probably mix it, but yeah, it actually came out this year, so it's a new book. And yeah, it just like sounds so cool to have like a blind protagonist and also it being a mystery. You don't really have that many blind protagonists, and you don't have it also being a mystery. So yeah, that sounds so cool. So cool. And then yeah, the last book is Wicked and the Just, historical YA. Historical YA. It's based around Wales and England, and it's Doesn't say here. Let me check it out inside. Like it says the time period. 1293. So yeah, quite old historical. Yeah, that's quite really fun. Do not like have Regency or something like that, but you have a really old. That's yeah, I really enjoy that. And yeah, I didn't actually know much about this before I picked it up, so it's fun really to go into something blind. It seems like one of them is Welsh and one of them is English, and it's like the English trying to conquer the Welsh and like stuff like that. And yeah, I'm excited for it. So excited. Then yeah, I mean yeah, do you know I have a problem? Because ha, yeah, I bought more books, and I already kind of have some books waiting for me in the mail. So yeah, am I smart? No. Am I book lover? Yeah. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. But yeah, actually, so yeah, so after I went to the library, I went to this store. It's called Outland. So it's a store that caters or like focusing on fandoms. So it has role-playing games, it has board games, it has Lego, it has fan merch, it also has a big book section. Big book section. It's not just books, but it has a big book section. And yeah, so it only has fantasy and science fiction. Though I suppose it also has like some non-fiction, like non-fiction of like quotes and all that stuff. But like most of the books are like based around fandom and nerd culture in a way. Oh, in a way, it is. So yeah, and it's one of my favorite stores in the whole world. It's just so good. Great store. I went into it kind of. I thought like, okay, I'm probably gonna buy one book because I had saved some money. So I thought like, I can I can indulge a bit and buy one book. I did end up buying two books, but I mean, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I couldn't help myself. I just, yeah. But then again, I bought two books. I didn't buy 6 or 10. I mean, I could easily have bought more books there. Well, I couldn't easily because I didn't have that much money. But I could have maybe bought like one more book, or like, yeah, I could. It could have been worse. Or like, I could have transferred more money from my savings account and just bought all the books this weekend. Though, then again, as I said, it was a very on a whim, so I didn't have that much money. So yeah, but yeah, here's the two books that I actually did buy. First is The Reader by Tracy Chi. It came out in like 2000 and what year did it come out? What year? 17. Yeah, it was quite new. Well, quite-ish. It's the book one. It's the first book in the of Sea and Ink and the Gold series. Yeah, of Sea of Ink and Gold. It's a lot of off in that series title. Suppose why not? It's a high fantasy series where like reading is forbidden. So yeah, that sounds so cool. And I just heard great things about this book. And like now, here and then, like in the book, you have like I'm gonna show you like the here like have some like switch it up with like a different way, and then you have chapter stuff with those way, and then you have over here like this cool, very cool like parchment style. It's just so cool, so excited. And then you have The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And yeah, it's the first one in the David trilogy. It's gotten lots of good praise on BookTube, as was also like on in general. I had I had first book on sale. Again, not gonna not gonna not to brag, but yeah, I do work in a bookstore. And yeah, I had the first book a few weeks ago, and she asked like, "Do we have the second book?" No, we didn't. But yeah, like, she was really interested in the third book. And yeah, it's just gotten lots of praise in general, really. It's adult fantasy, but it's like I think it's kind of like portal fantasy. I think it's Yeah, it says it. In the markets of 18th century Cairo, thieves, tricksters, con artists, and outcasts eke out a living, swindling rich nobles, and foreign invaders alike. But also there's like a parallel world with like genies in there, so it just sounds so fun. And yeah, I love Aladdin, and I just think this cover is just so beautiful, and yeah, I might do a better review of this one. Probably will with the Katie. I'll link it down below, and that's gonna be fun. And yeah, so yeah, that's what I did this weekend. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll post some pictures, as you've probably seen already in this video. And I hope you had a nice weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.